Hey Chayton, how are you?
Hey, Laura, good afternoon. Doing really well today. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for representing History Maker Homes today. I can't wait to hear all about History Maker and what sets it apart.
HistoryMaker Homes has a lot of communities all across the DFW Metroplex. We are in Houston and San Antonio markets as well. So just to show you guys here, we've got about 19, it looks like, in every corridor. The community that we're going to be talking about today, though, is our Royse City spot called Liberty Crossing. And we'll dive a little bit more into the details on the community specifics, what types of homes we have, and then the area as well for those who aren't familiar with Royce City. But first, I do just want to talk about History Maker Homes as a whole. So, a little bit about our company. First and foremost, we were founded in 1949 here in DFW. So, that makes us the oldest private
Local.
home builder in the state of Texas, which is something that we are very proud of. There's been a lot of ups and downs since then in the real estate market, and we've been able to hold true to our promise of delivering homes to our buyers. So that's the first thing. Second thing is we are the family owned, and our family ownership, they're the Mitchell family. They have a big emphasis on faith-based values. So that doesn't mean you need to be religious to work at History Maker Homes or to buy a History Maker home. That just means that you're going to be getting that quality level of service throughout the entire process and then beyond that.
Right, and that
Um,
integrity.
Absolutely. And that's very important to us. We know that there are a lot of builders who have come and gone because of making poor decisions and bad actors, and that's not something that we strive for at all. So, I just wanted to share this screen with you guys here just so you can read through. I know there's a lot of words on there, really, but the only one other thing that I'll share too is our construction process. And we know that it's very important for people that are purchasing this sometimes once in a lifetime investment to know that they're getting a very resound product. So our construction process is a little bit different. We use what's called panel and truss, which means instead of the lumber getting delivered on the site for the framers to kind of find that straightest 2x4 and put up the walls and then have to cut holes in them for all the plumbing and electricity, we have our trusses and our wall panels delivered to the site already constructed, which means that we're allowed to span big spaces in our homes, and it just helps keep that structural integrity stronger to last the 30 years that we have our full warranty for. So, well, there are a few different like components to the home. First, starting with the foundation, which is poured as concrete slab, and then you've got your bricks and the sticks, they call it. So for the sticks, the wooden frames having the trusses like pre-made and then laser cut in the laboratory, put together with like precision instruments, having them then delivered to the site where our framers can effectively, not to downplay their talents, but put it together almost like a puzzle.
Right.
What that does is it helps so that when you have to put the plumbing and electricity in, all those holes are already cut. And if you think about a piece of wood, if you cut a hole in it, it's going to reduce its strength over time,
Right.
where that doesn't happen with us.
That's great. And it's going to ensure quality across the board because that's one thing that happens
Mhm.
with builders is you have, maybe the builder has a really great promise, but the contractor, the people that are actually executing, there's errors and they're not caught until the people are moving in and oh, there's the leak that happened because of this, right? So I love that there's that consistency across the board because they do that.
Absolutely. And I can share a quick little bit too about our company's warranty policy. So a lot of builders do have warranties, and ours is very straightforward. The first year that you're in your History Maker home, everything is covered. So if something were to break that was not caused by, the kid running into the door and breaking that off, everything that's all under that warranty. Then for years one and two, we call it the deliverables portion.
Okay.
So if you were to have a plumbing break or the gas line were to malfunction or electricity were to not be working in one of those rooms, that would all be covered under the 2-year warranty. And
Okay.
then we have a 10-year structural warranty.
That's
So if there were to be any major implications or negative effects to, the house itself coming from the structure, that
Hmm.
would all be under that 10-year
And that
warranty.
includes foundation, right?
Foundation, yes, and then structure, yeah.
Yeah, so talk to us about what kind of floor plans or features are really popular with your buyers right now out in Royse City.
For Liberty Crossing in particular, there are three main problems that we help most of our home buyers solve in this market specifically.
Hmm.
And different neighborhoods have different product, different finish outs. But the first one is the families that come in here they're having trouble finding a space that really accommodates their family's needs, whether it be for them growing or for someone who's looking to downsize.
Hmm.
We have unique spaces for everyone, and we'll kind of show those in a minute here. The second one is that they're having a hard time finding a neighborhood that they really feel confident in investing in, right? And in planting those roots. And Royce City's growing right now. Just a little bit of information
Massively.
about the school district. There's construction everywhere. You can
Yes,
look it up. It is a work in progress, but what that means to me is there's growth. There's massive growth and investment potential to come. And for example, here, just the school district itself, the projections in terms of number of students growing throughout the next,
wow.
is that 8 years, is absolutely through the roof. The schools are at nearing capacity. They're building a lot more. And so there's a lot of potential to come. And I'm sure, as you've seen in your career
Yes,
so far, Laura, when the roofs get built, that's when all of the other businesses come, the retail, the fun centers. And so that's all in the works with the master plan. And
exactly.
I can share that information with you later so you can
I feel
have
like Royse City could become like another Frisco with the way that it's growing, with the amenities, with like the brand new schools, state of the art. Like I even saw that one of them has a slide within its library. So that looks fun. But yeah, Royse City, like yes, they're growing so much. They're getting so many amenities. And tell us about particularly this little master plan community. First of
yeah.
all, how many phases do you have going on right now? And what are some of the features that make this master plan community unique?
Sure. So let me get this site plan kind of here. I'll use Google Maps just so we can walk them things through. And let me kind
Sure.
of wrap up on the economic growth. So
Yeah.
there's a Buc-ee's that's open here down the street.
Okay.
If Buc-ee's is in the submarket, you know that there's potential there. And then they actually just opened up a new HEB down
Yeah.
the street.
HEB is another sign. If you have an HEB, you know there's economic growth and you know it's going to be a great place to live.
Yeah, so that's a 8 mile drive, 16 minutes from here, which means if you do commute to and from Dallas, you can stop on there on the way home to get groceries or on the weekend itself. So the neighborhood as a whole, it is a rather smaller one, so more niche, really. We only have us and one other builder in here. So for someone who's looking for a community that's a little bit more boutique and quaint, quieter, with a real focus on family and getting to know your neighbors, like this is a great spot for you. It's about, it's got plans for roughly 630 total lots, and that's across three different phases. So you can see here we're building in this first phase. Phase two has been developed. There will be more homes there in the future, and then phase three will be once we sell out of these eventually. And amenities in the community right now,
And less
we
less
do
is in
have
harder
a
homes
finished.
that you can actually know your neighbors. It doesn't feel
Absolutely.
like in Frisco, there are like mazes of neighborhoods that you have to drive like
Yeah.
30 minutes to just get out of the neighborhood. This is way more manageable.
Most definitely. And that's one thing too that our families who do live here so far, they really love. And when the people that I'm working with who are looking in the neighborhood, they see that there's kids out playing and having a really good time. They just feel welcome and to knowing that, okay, this would be a great spot. We can see our family living here. So the amenities are shown here. We have an amenity center, and it is complete. This is a real picture. There are two pickleball courts right now and a sand volleyball court. Then there's also a 4 feet deep pool, and then this little green space here. And in the future, when we're planning to build the third phase of the community, there will be there's plans for a disc golf course over in this section here. So they're going to make that into a nice walkable area where people can play disc golf, which is just a unique amenity that you don't see in a lot of other places.
That's true. And that's one of those like bonding community activities. So tell us, Chayton, about some of the incentives that are happening with HistoryMaker Homes right now. Some just dropped into my email, but let the audience know what are those percentages? What are those interest rates?
Well, let's focus first here on some of like the inventory homes. So really like History Maker's bread and butter right now is we have some very large floor plans that are
Mm,
truly here to serve families that need more space. So for example, this is one that we have a lucky buyer there should be closing on next week. It's 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and it's our Cypress plan. So all in all, very large home, about 3,000 square feet. It has volume ceilings in the living room, an upstairs game room, beautiful kitchen with really nice focus on just a higher quality finish out.
yes.
And the price of this one was in the 414,990. So about that range right now.
Okay.
And this home right here, this is 1335. This is the same exact floor plan. So we have more of these available that are ready for people who are looking to actively find a new home. Um, and so I'll just kind of go through this one too. And all of these are also located on the website here.
Okay.
So I'll send that link to you. You can share with
Perfect.
everybody. Um, One of the other homes I just want to touch on is
Look at all
like
those
right now
discounts. Let's go.
yeah, great discounts, end of year pricing,
Yes.
and everything like that. So this is our Hawthorne plan. This is the same floor plan as our model. And people are super fond of the model floor plan. So the upstairs has a huge game room and also a movie room. Phenomenal. Downstairs, just looking at the blueprint too. This one's a little shy of 3,200 square feet. It's got a formal study, beautiful open concept kitchen with a living room here. And the primary bathroom, one of the cool things, or sorry, primary bedroom and bathroom, one of the cool things is when you walk in from the garage here, you can access your primary suite without having to go through the foyer and into the family room, which gives our homeowners a little bit more sense of privacy if they have guests over. And that's
That's
just
really
like
nice.
a kind of unique thing that helps our History Maker plans stand out from some of the other competition we have. But on to what everybody's wondering about here, the incentives. So I'll kind of show you side by side here
Sure.
with like homes and everything. So right now, if we look through this one at 1335 Burgess Street, this one's priced at 424,990, and I can show a few different scenarios here, but to give everybody an understanding, we have the 4.49 fixed. This is a conventional interest rate.
Okay.
So for our conventional buyers that are looking to put down a little bit more and get that equity up front right away, we've solved the interest rate problem by offering a fixed 4.49% for 30 years. In addition to that, right now, and I can give this to you in writing, through the end of the year, we are offering up to $15,000 in closing costs, which for most buyers will not only cover their closing costs, but also their escrow. So the only thing that they're really bringing to the table at
Wow.
closing is their down payment. And I don't know about you, Laura, but that
That's
is an
amazing.
incredible deal.
Yes.
Incredible deal.
Yes. And it's fixed for 30 years, the 4.49%, correct?
That's right. That's correct.
Okay.
So for this house, you're right on a conventional style loan. If you're putting down about 10%, the monthly payments just shy, and this is everything included, just shy of about 3,100 bucks, which is
Wow.
phenomenal.
Wow.
Yeah. And so for some of our smaller homes, like let's see here, like our Cottonwood, this is the smallest plan we have. This is a 1 story, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. For this home, to show you like with an FHA loan what that would look like.
Okay.
This one with the 3.99% fixed interest rate and the minimum down payment, which is 3.5% for FHA. The monthly payment for this one is about just shy of $2,600 a month, which for most people is the rent payment.
Exactly. I would say that's cheaper than rent for some people. And then you're building
Absolutely.
equity. And then by the time phase three is built, you've already built like hundreds of thousands of dollars in equity, right?
That's right. Yeah. So if you're savvy with new construction communities, usually the first people that buy into the neighborhood that are willing to stay there for, the longevity, 5 to 7 years, are going to get a huge profit on, the equity built up over time. Of course, we
Yeah.
can't make that promise, but that's just what the trends have shown us over time.
Right. So we always advise as realtors, like buy in phase one. If you're going to buy new construction, buy in phase one. Not only that, but you're usually the closer to the amenities as well
That's
versus
right.
the phase three people.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So does that give you a good understanding of the true value and investment in like the deals we're running right now, or do you
Yeah.
need to go into any more detail on that?
That's excellent. I would say these incentives and promos are fantastic. If a buyer was interested, and let's say like I bring them, right? They would bring let's say if it's a move-in ready home, they would bring a pre-approval letter and then just their down payment in order to get under contract, or what's your process with History Maker?
Yeah, good question. So here in this community, at you on the realtor side, right, assuming that you're pre-qualifying your buyer so you know truly how much home they can fit within their budget, we would come out and if we did have a home that worked for them, we would lay out all of the incentives, the deal, kind of put that all in the agreement and then authorize it. And then we would need them to apply with our preferred lender, Lifestyle Home Lending, in order to take advantage of those interest rate buydowns and closing costs. So the process would look like once they say, yay, this is the home for us, we put the agreement together, and then the earnest money deposit is $5,000. That would get then credited towards their cash to close on closing day. And then in about a 30-day period, we would welcome them into the neighborhood and handing them the keys.
I know. I love how the process is so quick, it's so streamlined, and it's like you
Definitely.
could be in a home before New Year's if we act quick, right?
That's exactly right. And if you look at the seasonal trends too, I've got a little chart here. I'm a graph person. I'm a very analytical person, so
I love
I
that because
want to.
you're speaking to a lot of the buyers that are very research heavy and saying, "Hey, I really want to know my numbers before I jump into this big investment."
It's crucial. It's crucial, and you want to work with someone who's going to be able to educate you on that, and not just say this is what it costs. And I do like to have that deep dive with all of my buyers to really make sure that they understand, what this investment looks like and if it works for them and their family. But for the like seasonality trends here, so you can't really see the actual numbers and the letters on the axes, but this is showing the seasonality in terms of like volume for home sales in DFW over the last, what is it, about 12, 14 years. And all of this seasonal dip is end of the year. So December, November, December, January.
Right.
And if we refer back to our high school, college economic course, when you have less of a demand for a product, then in terms of the prices, then those tend to come down, and the willingness on the buyer side to work, or sorry, the seller side to work with those buyers and make sure they do get a really good deal is at the highest it will be in terms of the entire year.
Exactly. And that's what I tell people too is people say, when are builders best incentives and best deals? And I say, you know what? I've been tracking it and it's always at the end of the year
November and
because
December.
they're like, I have to get this inventory home off of the lot.
Yep.
And we are ready for the new. So let's drop the prices. Let's give the best incentives. They want to get their name out there and get those buyers in before New Year's.
That's exactly right.
Awesome. And so, what advice from your experience working with buyers and working with History Maker Homes, what advice would you give to buyers if they're looking for new construction for the very first time?
Absolutely a great question, Laura. The first thing that I would say is there is so many things that I'm sure buyers go through. I think we looked at a study the other day. It's about like 124 hours get spent between the time when a buyer says, I want to buy a home, and when they actually do buy one. That is like about 6 days of
Wow.
thinking about this subject. That's a lot of time that they're
Yes.
taking off of spending with family or working. And
Right.
so first and foremost, Laura, it would be partnering with a realtor like yourself that knows the new construction market, that can really speak to what's a good deal and what's not. And then someone who can also work with good builders like myself to kind of walk those buyers through that process just to make it as easy as possible.
I love that because it's a partnership. And I
It
always tell
is.
my buyers that you need the advocate in your corner, but you also need a reliable, consistent builder, right? So it's that
Yeah.
whole partnership because the builder needs to be on top of their communication, right? But
Mhm.
the realtor, I'm doing the behind the scenes advocating and that third party inspector in there, making sure that we read the contract and that everything is covered. And then there's the lender as well. So it's this whole
Yes,
partnership of setting up the buyer for success, that it's streamlined, that it's smooth, and it just goes off without a hitch.
definitely. I couldn't have said it any better myself.
So for our final question, just for fun, if
Yeah.
you had to pick one feature or unique room or space within History Maker Homes that you would want for yourself in your own home, what would it be?
Yeah, great question. I think one thing that is just my absolute favorite about our larger floor plans is having the abundant amount of space in terms of like volume in the living rooms.
Yeah.
So for our most popular floor plans on those 2 stories, it's those really large family room spaces, the secondary family room loft areas, and then having those tall ceilings just make homes feel a lot bigger and more inviting than some of the more, cramped in ones that we
You
see a
can touch
lot
the ceiling.
nowadays. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and your
Good
closets
question.
too are much bigger than a typical builder, I would say.
Yep, I like to let people like to, they see with their eyes, they believe with their eyes. Me talking to you here on this call is great, but until people actually come out and see for themselves,
Yes.
it doesn't have, you can't prove anything until you see it for yourself. And one of the things though that History Maker has always been well known for in line with our construction process is just having larger than average secondary bedrooms, flex spaces. And when people come out here, they truly do see that.
So you're actually in the model home, and I'm so excited because you're about to give us a tour.
You can start from the outside looking in then. So this model is our Hawthorne plan. And the one we have here is 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. It's about 3151 square feet. And elevation wise, so in our community, the design requirements are to be full brick and full gutters throughout the entire house. So it, features in this home are a little bit higher than some of the ones we do have available, but it should give a good representation of the inventory homes we have right now. So right away, you'll notice the tall ceilings in here. That
Yeah,
just helps
love it.
bring a little bit more invitation into this home. And we have this one with the home office, which is just a great feature for families who need that space in order to work from home. We'll come through this one in a second, but we'll walk here into the living room and kitchen. So beautiful kitchen, very inviting layout, good space for a dining room. And then the living room is just incredibly well sized. You can fit quite a large sectional here. Do whatever you want there. If you got a recliner, there's definitely enough room for that there too. So on into the primary bedroom. You'll notice there's a lot of natural light coming in right now, and we are in the mid-afternoon, but one of the cool features about that panel and truss construction that I was highlighting too is it gives us an extra foot of space to allow these windows to be a foot taller too. So there's no kind of getting them cut off, no
Right.
angles on the ceiling, which reduces the amount of window space and also amount of natural light. How do you feel like the buyers in today's market would appreciate something like that?
Oh, absolutely. I think natural light is one of the top requirements on my buyer's list, as well as like those elevated ceilings, um, all those all those different features, big closets like that one.
Yeah, this plan has a very well-sized closet in here. And in all of our homes, we have doors to the commode area here for privacy, which families love. And then another closet as well. But the
Another
cool feature
closet.
about the plans, yeah.
Awesome.
So you can call this the his and the hers, but I like to call it the hers and the hers because we all
That's
know
true.
how that goes.
That's very true.
Yeah. And we can walk out here through the laundry room,
So your
back
laundry
into the
room connects
foyer.
to one of the master closets,
That's
right?
exactly right. So we just went around in a circle.
So convenient.
Yeah. And for our families that need that space for their growing kids and maybe more kids coming along, this upstairs is magical. So, square footage of this room is about like almost 300 square feet, which is, I
Wow.
can't tell if you can see it through the camera, but there's so much room in here. You can fit a lot of different things up here if ping pong is your game, pool table, another couch, plenty of space up here for fun.
Wow.
And the Hawthorne
When you
plan
stage
does
at the
come.
ping pong table, you know you got room.
That's exactly right. And the Hawthorne plan does come standard with a media room. So this space will be, and the one that we do have available right now has this on there. Between their downstairs living and upstairs, that's a great little touch. And the secondary bedrooms, they feel very large and inviting, and that's because they are. There's a lot of room in here for furniture and great storage space.
Very amazing closet in the secondary bedrooms.
Very
Usually
amazing closet indeed.
you can just reach back and touch, like, boop, there's the closet in a builder, in a new build, but that one actually is a walk-in.
Absolutely. No, I mean, for me, if I think back to when I was a kid and I had this much closet space, I'd feel like a king.
Yes, I build forts, sleep in my closet.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So there we go. There's that. Is there another room, or is there a room you want me to go back to by any chance?
Let's see. Go to the kitchen.
Okay.
Show some of the features. Don't trip. Yeah, down to the kitchen. Love to see. Talk to me about some of the countertop options you have. If you have like, so some people with their kitchens, they'll have like the oven and the microwave flush to the wall, just depending on what package you pick. What does HistoryMaker offer?
Sure. So I guess I can take this opportunity to talk about that we do offer builds in this neighborhood. We have had a few buyers who have done that option, and they will go to our design center where they can customize all these features. But these right here, these are granite countertops, and the standard in this community is a 2 centimeter quartz countertop. So it's not quite the same one as this in terms of finish out too. Some of the homes we have right now look exactly like this, with the built-ins in the kitchen, has this microwave that actually also dual purposes as an air fryer.
Oh,
So air
okay.
frying is becoming extremely popular these days,
That is
and we have
going
that
with the
feature
trend.
included. Not every home does have that, but some of them do right now, which makes it a great opportunity for people to see a very high level finish out for a great value.
Absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
but
And like appliances, are they included in the package? Or is it something that the builder sometimes offers?
so right now, we are offering the appliance package
Okay.
included for the homes that can close before the end of the year. So you're getting that interest rate buy down, you're getting all of the closing costs covered, and then you're getting all the appliances. So it really makes that home truly move-in ready for anybody looking to move forward like right now.
Love that.
But yeah, that's the model. What do you think?
Okay. Let's go, Bonnie's. Where are you? Come and get your new home. And tell us about the price ranges too. So yeah,
Yeah,
I know
I
300 all the way to 500.
let me share. Let me hop back on my computer so I can and
Sure.
pull up the price sheet. Can you do that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let me make this quick then. I will share this with you too.
Perfect.
But to talk it through on the Zoom call right now. So current inventory pricing starts at our smallest plan, the Cottonwood, at $339,990, and then it goes all the way up until about $429,990 for our 5-bedroom Cypress. And in terms of
429 for a 5-bedroom. I'm just gonna pause it. 429 for a 5-bedroom. And how
that's
much square
correct.
feet?
That one's just shy of 3,000, and it has the volume ceilings in the living room.
Y'all, jump on this. Jump on
Let's
this.
do it. Let's do it. Yeah, come get your home.
Yeah. So I'm Laura Tager, your DFW realtor, specializing in all things new construction and getting you in your new build, finding your story and matching it with the builder. So thank you, Chayton Mowrey, for joining us today and representing HistoryMaker Homes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Laura. Guys, if you're looking for a home, you're in great hands right here with Laura. And when you come and visit me, I'll make sure to help you guys out as well. Looking forward to seeing you soon.